only Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. We really, I've been watching a lot of social media clips, just little posts people have been putting out. And there are a lot of folks who are kind of panicking right now, and it's kind of weird. So by now, everyone probably has heard that, right, in theory, Israel and Iran are at a ceasefire which was brokered by the US. And apparently after when after when the ceasefire was supposed to be in place, Iran shot like 2 rockets, because you figure their command and control is probably garbage right now because it's been all destroyed. So by the time they got word to whoever the hell it was, hey, don't shoot anymore, hey KP, hey Gene, hey Cobra, someone fired off a couple more. So Israel went and bombed the shit out of that area, and Trump got pissed, and they had to bleep the president out on the live news, because he said, I'm disappointed, Iran fired like 1 rocket and they went into the desert, and Israel went and made this fast bombing like I've never seen before, and they've been fighting so long they don't know what they're doing to each other anymore. And he literally dropped the F-bomb on live TV, and you could see like all the news people panicking, trying to bleep him out. But hey, what's up, Vision, Jennifer, Michelle, hello. I get where the president is, right? Man's not perfect, nobody is, but I genuinely think he's trying to stop this, and he had to give a show of strength to Iran, like, hey, we're serious, we're gonna bomb your shit. And then everyone said, okay, no more fighting after this time. And then it was like, it almost sounded like when you have 2 teenagers and they're like, Mom, he's touching me, and then they start fighting. So you tell them no, and you run them off, and then you hear them fighting upstairs after you told them to go to their rooms. And then you get pissed off, and that sounded like what Trump was feeling right then and there. Like, it's like he's trying to stop kids. So apparently he called Netanyahu and told him to cut the shit out, just stop. And then he sent Rubio, communicated to whoever with Iran, and was like, you need to stop so we don't come back with more B-2s, because you didn't even see those coming. We just blew shit up, and you don't want us to come back. So you stop, and we're talking Israel, and I think they stopped at this point. Everyone just chilled out. But I'm seeing a lot of creators, especially some smaller channels on the other platforms, and one of them was like, I just spent $500 panic buying for World War III, because they freaked out a little bit. And it's like, no, yeah, great if you have the money, more power to you, but if you have $500 to spare and you thoughtfully prep, that's a good thing. When you panic buy, more than likely you bought something that you didn't need because you thought it was a good idea, but you didn't think it through. Hey, see you, CV Farmer, what's going on? Hey, LDV, thank you. It was long before I had to trim it back because I was starting to look like Mufasa, and it was getting out of hand. But literally looked like the Lion King, like it was too much. Hey, Jeremiah, good morning. So I'm glad to see they stopped. That's good. Iran's counterattack was more symbolic. They picked like the most remote base and apparently shot the slowest rockets they have, knowing the Americans were going to leave the base or go to their bunkers. And like, yeah, it was more for internal consumption of the Iranian people. But yeah, yes, Gene, that's absolutely true. And folks need to just calm down. I actually commented on this creator, and she's a newer creator. I think I saw her on TikTok, and she has a good little homesteading channel. Like, she does homeschooling, and I commented. I said, no, don't. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Think out. Use your economic sense. Say, okay, what do I need first? And that's why I've talked so much about understanding your area. because what New Orleans would deal with versus Denver is two totally different environments. And that's going to greatly change the way you prep, right? If you're in, for instance, New Orleans, you have a lot of natural water, there's fish. You also have a lot of refineries, which are targets, right? But if you live in Phoenix, yeah, there's no refineries, but it's a damn desert. There's no water. What good is a water filter? You can't filter sand and get water out of it, right? You need water in the first place. So folks need to think. I'll tell you what, I hadn't set foot in a Dollar General in a long time. And yesterday, I don't know what the hell my wife was looking for. Oh, those little storage cubes that you put into the shelves. Do you know what I'm talking about? You see them at the Airbnbs. It's like a little fold-out cube, and it has a little hole for you to pull it. And you put clothes. It's like what college kids use as drawers nowadays. And she wanted them, and they were like, at Target, they were like $10 a piece. And she found almost identical ones at the dollar store for $1.50 or $2. That was absurdly different. And I started walking around the store, and I'm like, damn, there's a lot of cool crap. Yeah, in KP, that's right, nuclear power plants. And they're all over the coast, too, because they're close to the water for cooling. Right, farmer, exactly. Yeah, Michigan and West Texas, very different. And unfortunately, I'm not in a big bullseye, but I'm surrounded by little bullseyes, like the B-1 bomber base and Fort Bliss, and then you have the big solar field, the big wind farm, and the big oil and gas field. So we're in between all this other stuff that would be of interest to bad people or to an enemy, a foe of some type. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? But no, I listened to her video, and she was disappointed in herself. She's like, last time, I think she said it was in 21, so I guess during the riots, and she thought, things would have, oh no, when Ukraine popped off, and they panic bought like $500, and she said it screwed up their budget for like 3 months. No, that you should be prepping now for what might happen 4 years from now, if that makes sense. So, and when you do that, now that $500 has been spread out $5-10 at a time over years, as opposed to $500 in one paycheck, right? I mean, again, if you have the $500, you get a bonus or something, great. That's wonderful, but don't panic buy. Even if you have the money, say, wait a minute, okay, what do we really need? And then start with the basics and work your way backwards. Yeah, and use what you prep. Hold on, I gotta... Oh, hey, Watchman. Yeah, so Trump did drop the hidden by key. Yeah, June make me feel fresh. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a stupid person there. Goodbye. And away they go. So, anywho, yeah, folks, don't panic buy. Don't do, and this is a younger couple. She probably is about 25, 30 years old, and she just showed up on my feed because I went down this homesteading rabbit hole. And why do people... I park in the middle of nowhere in a parking lot, and people pass around me. It's like I attract stupid drivers. I never understood this. Anyway, but point being, yeah, vision, absolutely. Stick to necessities. Don't panic buy. If you do have a chunk of change, say you've put aside $500, or you got a bonus, you sold stock, I don't know, you sold the old car and you got some money. Think about what you're doing, right? Think about, and there's, wow, the trolls come out when you do the vertical, but that's okay. I have lots of, I have great mods. Thank you, mods. And, I also have the delete the person button, so that's great because nobody really cares what they say. Stay on your budget. Take your time to think through what you have. So if you have $500, great. That might be a good time to get the baby Jackery or the baby Blue Eddy or the EcoFlow. Vision loves the, what are those cups? The and I need to get one. I have a different version, but it's a plastic bottle, not the metal one. And I saw the metal one. I forgot what the hell it's called. Help me out here, Trent. Thank you, Grail. I just blanked out. I was like, it's the metal cup that filters shit. Right. So that might be a good time to say, okay, if I have water sources near me, does the grill make sense for me? For me, I have to find the damn water in the first place, right? So that's a different dynamic. But, you know, you could look at all this stuff and kind of understand what you're doing. Don't go and panic buy $500 of stuff. And I get where she was coming from, because she said, you know, they're a young couple, they got little kids, and they live near what would be a potential target. And so they started to panic a little bit, which was fair, right? Because they're new to this. And so they made a mistake. And there's no, the fact that she knows that was the wrong thing and they made an error, that's good. All right, because a lot of people, hell, I see it with investing. People are like, no, I'm going to buy this stock, and the company's fundamentals are not good. And you're like, look, they're kind of heavy debt. They don't have a good cash flow. Their product sucks. Maybe sell that. No, if I sell it, I'll have a 5% loss. And so they stay with the stock, and then it drops, and then they sell it, and they get a 30% loss. And I'm like, well, por pendejo, why didn't you sell it? You know what I mean? You cut your losses. When the housing market crashed, I had rental properties in Houston, and we were like, we're going to lose our asses. So we wound up short selling a couple. Did it hurt the credit? Yeah, a little bit, but I got rid of the house. I took the write-off, and off I went. Had I sat on it until I foreclosed, that would have been an epic hit to our finances or credit, everything, because that would have been a $200,000 loss or whatever the hell the house cost, $100,000 back then, versus, you know, 10 grand, which you write off against. You know what I mean? There's other options. So you cut your losses. So the same thing applies. Think about what you're doing. If you buy certain things, you don't want to buy them and then go, oh, this is not what I needed. And now you have a loss. You've taken a financial loss because you didn't think through what you were doing. Take the time. And you should do this every day if you can. Hey, some random dude. But hold on, I'm trying to see here. I don't have my glasses, so financial disaster only the wealthy can afford to take. And the system is, well, the system's been lopsided for years. And that's part of when I wrote my book, Defensive Preparedness. There's a whole chapter about finance and credit and how you can understand the system so you don't fall in a booby trap, right? I'm no financial advisor, right? This was just my own experiences. But yeah, a lot of folks. So anyway, these folks, they kind of panicked a little bit and they spent some money. And I can't emphasize enough, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, if you're homesteading, even if you're prepping, or you just got your hurricane box, maybe that's all you've done. Don't do it all at once. If you have the money, great, but at least write down what you think you need. Do a little research and say, okay, if I want to make my first hurricane box, what needs to go in there? Make a list and then stick to the list. Make your box and then give it a week and say, you know, I didn't put enough toilet paper in there, or I didn't put a can opener. Okay, now you know. And then you go back. Is threat how to stop that forcefully? Hey, Mark. So, hey, Hakeem, what's going on? So just be smart. Take your time, budget your money. If you do happen, like I said, you happen to have a bonus, you happen to run into some money, you know, extra paycheck, whatever, you got a raise, you have a little bit of money set aside, and you want to buy something for preparedness, stop and think, well, what do I need for my area? What do I need that makes sense for me, right? And then go from there. The toilet paper gone, we're all doomed. And, you know, Bounce Beats, what was the worst one? The toilet paper was silly. That was like, what are you doing? Just get one package It's 2 people in a house. Like if I go to Sam's and I buy the big potty package, that'll last us 3 months. So I buy one this month and one next month. That's 6 months of toilet paper. Like I'm done. I just put one on the shelf. But the worst thing was the dumb things like they put a tarp in a pickup truck, the blue tarp, and filled it with gas. Tarps create static electricity. Anyone who folded one in the summer knows it zaps you. And your engine exhaust is hot. And they literally put like 40 gallons of gas in the bed of a pickup. First of all, how are you going to get that out of the truck and put it into a proper container? If you had containers at home, why didn't you just put them in the truck and fill the containers one at a time and put them back in the, like, yeah. Yeah, there's a video bounce. If you, was it on Instagram? Might be on TikTok or Instagram. I don't remember if it was on YouTube, but look, people fill pickup with gas and someone tells them, dude, you're gonna catch your truck on fire. And the guy's like, mind your business. And they put their shit away and they drive away fast. And the gas is splooshing over the bed of the truck. And I'm like, if that hits his exhaust pipe, which is hot, it's going to catch fire. The whole truck's going to be a Roman candle. And he's going to be flaming truck going down the highway with 2 idiots in it. People shouldn't do that. Don't panic buy. Think of what you got and go, okay. So for instance, in the Iran thing, a lot of people were worried about sleeper cells, right? Like, oh, because we had a bunch of people come in the country, a lot from countries that don't like us. And, I'm not talking about criminals and pedos, chomos and stuff like that, like your street criminals. I'm talking about people were worried legit terrorism was in the country, and it may still well be. Think about, okay, what did I think I needed? Well, maybe I need a power supply, I need a solar generator. You can break those up, right? You can buy, for instance, the Jackery, and you can buy the little power pack, you can charge it on the wall, and then wait a few paychecks and buy a solar panel to go with it. And then wait a few paychecks, buy another solar panel, budget it out. Amazon even lets you split pay now, and some other stores do, where you don't have to use a credit card, so you're not paying an interest rate, right? You can take that $400 purchase and split it up into $50 payments over so many months. That's a lot more affordable than 500 at once, 200 at once. So, hey, Teresa, what's going on? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Moonsprout. You snuck in on me there. No, and Bounce, they do crazy things. And again, just Watchmen, they were allegedly, but nobody wants to talk about it. But there's a lot of scuttlebutt. I will tell you that there has been a lot of equipment in the energy sector disappearing. A lot, from oil and gas and from solar. And I don't know where it's going. It may be getting sold on the black market, but shit's been disappearing. They're estimating last year, like the big boys, I forgot what the solar company is. They wrote off a quarter billion, like 200 million of shit disappeared or got stolen. The oil and gas industry, man, they steal crane trucks and other stuff. There's been stuff that's stolen shit. Half a B, like half a billion, like 500 million has been written off by companies. And that's probably low because some companies, everything runs remotely. So unless there's a problem, no one goes to the work site, or the guy makes rounds and it'll be a month before he comes back around and goes, oh shit, the crane truck's gone. Yeah. So, the cartels and the criminals do their own harm. But think about, okay, with this Iran thing, right, which hopefully settled down, what did I think I needed? Did I need more water? Did I start with the basics, the food, the meds, the protection for the house, and the fundamentals for transport and communication? So think of those basic things. Did I need more food? Did I need more water? Do I need to get Readywise or nutrient survival for long term? Did I just need more canned food? What can I afford? Ask yourself those questions. And like I said, I had a whole chapter dedicated to credit scores and finance, because prepping and your money they're hand in hand, right? They're merged together. If you don't have money, you can't really prep very well. But if you prep stupid, you run out of money, and then you can't pay, you know, whatever the hell else you have to buy for your life. So you got to be smart. Thank you, Teresa. You got to be smart the way you approach it, and just think it through. Don't panic. And, you know, trust me, if there's something you suddenly need urgently, it's going to really pop in your brain very quickly. Like you'll look and go, oh, wow, I missed that. And every now and then take your gear out. Don't buy it and put the box immediately in the closet. Don't do that. Take it out. I made my wife fit test a MIRA safety mask the other day, right? And you know, I'm a MIRA affiliate. There are a lot of people are. There's several masks out there that are good. The reason I did that, not because I think like someone's going to poison gas my house, but I do live in the vicinity of industry. And we've all seen refineries, factories catch fire. Look what happened in Ohio with the train. And this cloud of garbage went over a whole area, and people had no masks. Some of them had N95s, which I guess they do a little bit. But for something like that, you need to seal around your face. And I wanted to test would it seal around my goatee. And it did. And then I made my wife put it on, and she had to test hers. So I like took the thing off, and I put my hand over the hole and said inhale. And when it sucked up on her face, I said, okay, see that? It's sealed on you. Which she thought was cool. So then she went and scared the corgis with the damn mask. But by the way, Trent, I do not advise going to Cole and scaring him with a gas mask, because he's 200 pounds. He will steamroll you, because he'll think you're the devil. He won't realize it's daddy. So, yeah, parcel's another one. But practice, yeah, Virginia, absolutely. Practice with your gear. Pull it out. For instance, I have the Jackery with the solar panels. There are lots of brands out there, right? I take it out on a summer day. It's a 60-watt panel. I used a meter, actually. I used an electrical meter on it. I can get about 45, 50 watts. So that's about 75, 80% efficiency to the power pack from the panel, which is not bad, because it's never exact, right? But on a cloudy day, I get 15. So plugging it in on a summer day in Texas, I can charge that little Jackery in about 4 hours. About 4 hours. If it's cloudy in the winter, it's going to take me 8 hours to charge that little machine the same way. That's a good piece of information, because that way I know if there's something brewing and I know it's winter, I know it's going to be cloudy, solar is not going to be a great option for a few days. I'm going to plug it into the wall now and get it charged up and make sure it stays at, you know, a high level. Same thing with your firearms, right? If you like to go to the range, go to the range and practice. And granted, if you only have 1 or 2 firearms, practice with the ones you carry. If you have different ones for different purposes, right? I have over-unders for clay shooting. I have hunting rifles. I have AR, you know, a variety. Don't hesitate to take one out every couple of weeks. If nothing, even if you can't get to the range or you don't have the money to go to the range, tear it down, clean it, function check it, put it back in the safe. Be familiar with everything you have. Hand tools. Have you looked at your hand tools? Wipe them down, oil them. They get rusty. If they get too rusty, they start to break when you're trying to work with them. Have you checked those? Have you powered up or charged up all the batteries for your power tools? Right? There are a lot of preps you can do for almost no cost. Start with those. They're easy to do. Just discipline yourself to do them. And whatever you do, if you got money, don't spend $500 in a panic. Take a minute. Hey, Arc Wildman, good to see you. Take a few minutes to think about, what do I really need? And then go from there. All right. I just wanted to leave that with you. It looks like Iran, Israel kind of calmed down for a bit, which is good for everyone. But if you thought you needed something, if when everything was going on, you're like, wow, I really should have gotten this. Now's the time to set a plan to budget it in. And again, if you can use Amazon or Walmart's money and do a four-pay, that's just bad. Four-pay, see, don't put your mouth on it. That's vision. Now I got the vision, I can't speak thing. God, we're all a hot mess. Anyway, the 4Pay, where you split it into 4, um, shit, and you don't have an interest rate to it, that's a better thing than putting it on a credit card. Now you got your 20, 30%, whatever the hell they're charging people now. Don't go into debt. Don't run up a credit card unless you've planned out how to pay it off quickly, because you will wind up in a financial trap that becomes very difficult to get out of. And I saw it because my parents did it when I was a kid, and they battled that for years. So you can use them, and you can use them smartly, but you got to be careful the way you approach it. So anyway, right, Farmer, yeah, and you're where you are. Outside of the spring and summer, you start getting cloudy, you get those spring rains. It really, you can use it, but it takes forever to charge up, versus say here in West Texas, I'm flat, there's no clouds, no trees, and it's 105 degrees. I can charge the crap out of solar. But folks, be smart, take your time. And Arc Wildman's making cracklings, also known as chicharrones in Spanish, but equally yummy. Anyway, folks, think your things through. Hey, EMT, what's going on? I'm from Iraq, and I swear we don't prepare like you. Maybe not. But Hakeem, it doesn't hurt to at least think that through and say, okay, what would I need? And I don't know, like, the weather patterns in Iraq. If you guys don't get hurricanes, I know you get earthquakes and you get other stuff, but yeah. In any case, folks, look, be smart, be calm, talk to your neighbors, make some friends. Remember, your community is going to be very important. And people, you know, like Hakeem's from another country, right? And thanks for joining us. I have friends from all over the place here, from Australia, from Turkey. There's a Jordanian coworker from India. I got Russian guys. Well, the Russian actually grew up here, so I don't know if he counts, but you know, everyone's seen something different, and you can learn a lot from people who grew up in a different place than you did. So folks, be safe, be careful, and think your purchases through. Don't panic buy stuff. It just doesn't help. And I'll see you guys tonight. In theory, the Horseman, I'm looking at Watchmen. The Horseman should be on tonight. So, oh, hold on. And, oh yeah, another retard. And he's gone. So, anyway, be smart, take your time, and you guys be careful out there. Be safe. I will see you guys later on tonight with the 4 Horsemen. So you guys take care of yourselves.